All right, hello everybody. I am back to give some updates as to where I'm at. I don't have like one of those fancy YouTuber lights or like even a stand to put my phone on. It's propped up right now. So this is just me basically getting through until I can get some more equipment so that I can, make more high quality videos. So essentially, I'll update everybody as to where I'm at. So when I made my last video a little over a week ago, I believe it was, I was in full-blown withdrawal, full-blown intolerance, basically. So I had been tapering, I think I told everybody in the first video, I had started at 4 milligrams, cut to 2.25 milligrams, and that's where I was. And then I was getting therapies and things from some holistic doctors, and some of those therapies were very intense detox therapies. And what I didn't realize is that when you have, when your body's detoxing a benzo and you are doing detox therapies, it can make it to where your body like detoxes it too fast and you go into tolerance, you go into withdrawal. So that's basically what happened to me. I was doing ionic foot baths, which pull toxins from your body. And I was also doing amp coil therapy, which is, that's a whole nother topic I can explain to you guys. That's a new technology. It's absolutely amazing. And I know for a fact that it works, but it just, because it helps your body, it helps your organs to detox. Essentially, just to give you a quick explanation, your liver functions, when your liver is functioning healthy, for example, it functions at a certain frequency. If your liver is not functioning healthy, it functions at a not healthy frequency. The amp coil, you essentially lay it on your chest or on your stomach, and it helps reharmonize your organs, and it helps feed that healthy frequency back into your body, which in turn helps your organs detox. So about a week before I had my breakdown, I had gone to the doctor and had all these detox therapies. And then next thing you know, about a week later, I was in full-blown withdrawal. I had been 5 days straight fight or flight mode, no sleep, I couldn't eat anything at all. And then finally, on the 7th of November, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I had to check myself into a facility. There's a facility in my town. I live in South Carolina. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to, I'll give some resources in the links below this video. I'll give you all some resources of places that can help. But I essentially couldn't take doing it on my own anymore. My body had hit tolerance and I needed help. So I checked myself into the hospital, and I was in the detox unit, and I was very blessed. I had an amazing doctor. The doctor who was assigned to me was absolutely incredible. He switched me from Xanax to Valium, and that's essentially the Ashton Manual, which is what really, she's the one who wrote the book on benzotaper. The problem with Xanax is that Xanax is so short acting. It's it works fast, but it doesn't stay in your body very long. So if you are trying to taper off Xanax or Ativan, it's nearly impossible once you get down to a low enough dose, because your body's going to have those interdose withdrawals because they're so short acting. So if you are someone who is tapering Xanax or Ativan, I highly recommend you get with your doctor and you switch to either Valium or Klonopin. Both of them are longer acting. So I was able to switch to Valium. It was absolutely life-saving. There was also another medication they gave me in the hospital called Vistaril. The generic name for it, I believe, is hydroxyzine. It was like a mild sedative. I think it's in the Benadryl family. There was one night I was shaking in full-blown withdrawal, couldn't sleep, and they wouldn't give me my Xanax that night. And I was like, it's going to be a long night, and they gave me one of those, and it actually stopped my shakes. Now, there's some people I know who have tried it and it didn't work for them. Unfortunately, I hate that. Some people it doesn't work for them. Some people it does, but it's very important that you get with a doctor who's going to help you, because I can tell you what worked for me. I can tell you what I did, but I certainly can't give any medical advice by any means. So if you have insurance, it's important to find a doctor that is willing to help you. If you have a doctor who is gaslighting you, who is telling you they're not going to help you and you're just going to have to suffer through this, you don't have to accept that, period. You can doctor shop and keep fighting and advocating for yourself. If you have a family member who can help as well, fight for your family member. This is, Xanax detox is a special kind of hell that I did not know was possible. If I could have gone back 5 years ago and tried to explain to my younger self what that hell was going to be like, I couldn't have fathomed it. It's a hell on this earth that I did not know was possible to experience. And if you are going through that, just know that God is with you. He loves you, and there is help available to you. You do not have to accept malpractice and torture and gaslighting from a doctor who is not prescribing you or switching you to a longer acting benzo and just letting you suffer. You have to doctor shop. You have to fight for yourself. So when I was admitted to the hospital, they switched me from Xanax to Valium. So they switched me from, I was on 2.25 milligrams of Xanax. They switched me over to 20 milligrams of Valium, which is essentially equivalent to 1 milligram of Xanax. So the Valium staying in your system worked so well for me that I didn't even have to do a 2.25 Xanax equivalent, which would have actually been more like I believe 50 milligrams of Valium. So 20 milligrams of Valium, and I was good to go. After a couple days, it took me about 4 or 5 days to stabilize. But I also started taking a medication, a low dose of a medication called Celexa, which is for anxiety. I'm not big on adding any medications, but in order to get through this hump, if I have to take some medications temporarily, I'm fine with that. Celexa is a medication that helped me a lot when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I had really bad agoraphobia and struggled with panic attacks. And that's what got me in this mess in the first place. And, you know, instead of seeking out therapy, spiritual healing, things like that, I medicated myself. And I really want desperately to be off all medications. And I believe that healing is possible. I believe that we do not have to live this way. But I also believe, you know, there's some people that medication works for them, and that's great. If it's something that works for you and it's something that you're okay being on for the rest of your life, more power to you. That's your choice. Every single one of us is different. We have to remember every single one of our bodies is different. Our brains are different. We're different ages, all that. A lot of my friends who are older, I really feel for, because it's like they suffer greatly because their bodies have a lot harder time healing themselves because they're older. So yeah, I am going to link in the video some resources. One place that's really helpful is the Alternative to Med Center. It's in Arizona, and it is a center that specifically mainly focuses on getting people off of benzos and or antipsychotics. They have endless resources, doctors that can help, doctors that are willing to help and not just sit and let you suffer. It's very expensive to go there. If you are someone who has enough money and is, dude, it's $65,000. But if I were rich, that's where I would have gone. But, I ain't got that kind of money. I'm a peasant. So, so I had to go to just the local facility in my hometown. But even that was so incredibly helpful. As you can see, I look a heck of a lot better from when I did my last video. I'm a lot more coherent. I'm a lot more present. I'm doing so much better. I haven't had a Xanax in 7 days, I believe, and I took it for 7 years. So, yeah, the facility really helped me so much, and it was the best decision I ever made, was to check myself in. It was very scary. I'm not going to lie. It was terrifying, but it helped knowing, one, that I was in a safe place, but also there were other people there that were going through the same thing. I was in the detox unit, so there was other people there. One guy who had, you know, done several benzo tapers, and he said almost died a couple times, like, but being around other people who understood me, who were coming up to me, are you okay? What can we do for you? That saved me, and that helped me so much. Like, trying to do this alone can sometimes be too much. And if you have the opportunity to get some help, please get some help. That made all the difference in the world for me. So I'm now on 20 milligrams of Valium, which is essentially equivalent to 1 milligram of Xanax. And I went into the hospital at 2.25 milligrams of Xanax. So technically my dose was cut in half, a little more than in half. And the Valium is going to be a lot easier to taper off of because, one, my body isn't used to that chemical, and two, it's longer acting. So it's not going to leave my system in 2 seconds like Xanax does. I was in the hospital and they were going to slowly switch me from Xanax to Valium. And one night I had this epiphany that the Xanax was only prolonging my suffering, that continuing to take it was just making me worse, because every time I would take it, I would feel better for like 30 minutes. And then I would have the shakes, flu-like symptoms. I mean, I was just sick as a dog. Like mental sickness makes you physically sick. I was so sick. So finally one night they gave me my Valium and I was like, I'm not taking the Xanax with it, because the goal was to slowly switch me over. But I think my body was already so ready, because like I said, I had been at the holistic doctor doing those detox treatments. I think my body was so ready to be done with Xanax. And it's like, and, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. So I pray to God about everything. And I really felt like the Lord spoke to me and was like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to take this med. You're going to be okay. And the nurse told me, I said, I don't want to take the Xanax. I just want the Valium. And she said, well, okay, well, if you don't take it now, then I can't give it to you later. And it was like a trust fall. I had to trust God. I had to trust that I was going to make it through the night. And, you know, because of the fact that I was in a facility and I knew that there was nurses nearby, that if something happened to me, if I seized, if, you know, they were there to assist me, that helped me have the courage to do it. So I didn't take my Xanax that night, and the next day I felt better. I didn't have the flu-like symptoms. I didn't have the withdrawals anymore. I was just taking the Valium, and then I took Vistaril as needed, which really helps with withdrawals. It helped with sleep, all of those things. Now that I'm out of the hospital, one of the main focuses is diet. When you are, you know, getting better from benzos, you really want to eat clean. You want to take your omega-3s, because that helps with inflammation in the body. Essentially, from my understanding, benzo withdrawal causes inflammation of your central nervous system. And I'm still learning all this stuff. It's very complicated, but it is a silent epidemic right now. I heard one guy say that essentially there's a benzo holocaust going on right now, because if you can't find someone to help you, like I was so blessed to have a doctor and a hospital to help me. If you can't find somebody to help, it's like being in hell. It's like being tortured alive. I truly felt like I was being tortured alive. I felt like I was like someone had strapped me to a table and was torturing me alive every second of every day. I did not have a moment of peace. I did not have a moment of calm for 5 days. I could not eat. It was excruciating. Absolutely excruciating. So if you are going through this, or if you have a family member going through this, don't let them suffer. The suicide rate for benzo tapering is ridiculously high, because it is so unbearable. It literally feels like you are being tortured. And when you don't sleep, you kind of go crazy. So anyway, I would definitely encourage anyone going through this, seek out help, advocate for yourself. Don't take no for an answer. If your doctor won't help you, go find another one. If you don't have insurance, go to a hospital. You know, just do whatever you can do. As you can see, I'm doing a lot better, and I'm going to continue to do better. I plan on continuing this YouTube channel, raising awareness, and letting everybody know the true excruciating suffering that people who are being cut off from Xanax and Ativan are going through, because those are shorter acting benzos. If you are on Valium or Klonopin, it's usually not as bad, because Klonopin and Valium are longer acting and they stay in your system longer, which is in, you know, Dr. Ashton, who came out in the late or early 2000s. She is the one who wrote the manual on it, and her protocol is switching from the short-acting benzo to Valium. She switches from, and you can Google Ashton Manual. I will put that link as well in the video, or in the video description. I'm going to put a link to several different resources: the Alternative to Med Center, the Ashton Manual, even the facility that I went to. So don't give up. Keep fighting. You'll make it through this. You might need some help. You might need, to be hospitalized. You might need to doctor shop. You might need to tune out your family members, people that are trying to tell you that it's all in your head. Tune it out, because they don't know what's going on inside your body. They don't know what you're feeling inside. And that's what I had to do. Like, my family didn't really want me to go to the hospital per se, because they didn't want me to lose my job. They didn't want me to lose my car. And I had to ignore everyone else and do what was best for me. So do what is best for you. If you have a family member who's advocating for you, you're blessed. Stay strong, stay in the fight, do what you have to do. And like I said, I will leave a link to resources in the description. Yeah, if you're going through this, you're not alone. It's absolute torture. And it is a crime against humanity that should not be happening. And I'm sorry if you're going through this. I'm going to continue to, like I said, make as many videos as possible raising awareness for this. If you could like the video, comment, share with a friend. The only way that the opioid crisis and the Sackler family was taken down was by people continuing to raise awareness and fighting and staying in the fight together. We're in this together. If you are, a friend or family member, or you're in this, share this video, like it, comment. We're going to get the word out, and hopefully maybe eventually one day we will have justice, just like the people who went through the opioid crisis, because this is not right, what's happening. And like I said, it's a silent epidemic, and there are so many people suffering right now, suffering with no help from a doctor. So stay strong. Check my check my description for links to resources for help. You can comment and ask any questions. I'll be willing to help anybody. And yeah, that's my story. That's where I'm at right now. This is everything I've learned. So yeah, I'll be back with another video soon, guys. And stay in the fight. We've got this, okay? We're in this together.